The Gemara in Bava Metzia on page 59b tells of a great dispute that was raging between Rabbi Eliezer and the Chachamim, Rabbi Eliezer and the other rabbis. What is the halachic status of an oven that is made out of pieces of ceramic that are glued together with sand? Does this oven retain ritual impurity? Does it not? And as the dispute raged, the Chachamim began to ask many questions against Rabbi Eliezer. And although Rabbi Eliezer answered those questions, the Chachamim were winning the debate. Rabbi Eliezer said, "Look over there. Do you see that carob tree? If I am correct, that carob tree will prove it." Immediately, the carob tree was uprooted and flew 200 feet. And the Chachamim said, "We don't listen to carob trees. We've disproved you with a halachic argument, with Torah reasoning." Rabbi Eliezer turned to the Chachamim and said, "If I am correct, that stream will prove my point." The stream reversed direction and the water flew uphill. Chachamim said, we don't listen to streams. We have determined, according to halachic argument, that we are correct. Rabbi Eliezer said, "If I am correct, the walls of the Beit HaMidrash, the walls of the study hall will prove my point." And immediately the walls of the study hall began to fall. At that point, Rabbi Yehoshua stood up and said, "Walls of the study hall, why do you meddle in this argument amongst rabbis?" And the walls stopped falling. And in fact, the Gemara tells us that the walls stayed on a slant forever. They didn't want to stand up completely in the honor of Rabbi Eliezer, and they didn't want to fall completely in the honor of Rabbi Yehoshua. So the debate continued to rage. At that point, Rabbi Eliezer turned to the Chachamim. He turned to the other rabbis and said, "If I am right, the heavens will prove my point." Immediately, a heavenly voice came out and said, "Why are you questioning Rabbi Eliezer? The halacha is like him in every place." Rabbi Yehoshua stood up and said, "Lav bashamayim hi." The Torah is no longer in heaven. When God came down on Mount Sinai and gave the Torah to the Jewish people, he gave the Torah to the Jewish people. It is no longer in heaven. And the Torah tells us the majority rules. In a dispute amongst rabbis, the majority rules. We don't listen to a bas kol. We don't listen to a heavenly voice. We rule based on halachic reasoning. The Jewish people are about to enter the land of Israel. There's a sense of excitement in the air, but there is also some apprehension. What will this land be like? The new generation has grown up in the desert. Also, Moshe Rabbeinu, the great leader who has led them these 40 years, will not be joining them. He will not enter the land of Israel. What will they do? Who will lead them? Who will they go to with the tough questions? Moshe Rabbeinu speaks to the Jewish people in this week's Parsha and tells them, when you have difficult questions, you will go El HaShofet Asher Yiyeh Bayomim Hahem. You will go to the judge who will live at that time. The rabbis in the Talmud ask, isn't this obvious? You can't go to a judge who lives in a different time. You can only go to the judge who lives in your time. The rabbis answer that the Torah is teaching us something here, that whichever judge lives in your time or in our time is the judge you can go to. And the Torah and God grant this judge the authority to rule on difficult questions. Hashem also vests in that judge the divine inspiration to give the right answer for each generation. So, Bnei Yisrael, the Jewish people, are about to enter the land of Israel. They won't have the leadership of Moshe Rabbeinu anymore. Moshe Rabbeinu, who the Torah calls the greatest prophet who ever lived, the most humble man. But there will be other leaders, and those leaders will have the authority and the divine inspiration and ability to answer the difficult questions of every generation. The Gemara tells us a very interesting postscript. Rabbi Nassan met Eliyahu Hanavi. Rabbi Nassan met Elijah the prophet. And he said to him, "What is God doing right now?" And Elijah answered, "God is laughing, and God is saying, 'My sons have won. My sons have won.'" When Hashem gave us the Torah, when God gave us the Torah, he gave us the tools and the ability to apply the Torah to every generation and to answer all difficult questions, to go to the Shofet Asher Yiyeh Bayomim Hahem, to go to the rabbis, to ask the rabbis of each generation. And from those rabbis, we will receive guidance, and we will have the ability to answer the challenges of each generation. Good Shabbos.